Welcome, YouTube. Welcome to our fantastic, I can't wait to do this, the best way to sell your home right now and probably going forward for a while until the real estate models change. We're going to review Zillow, Redfin, Rex, Homebay, other discount brokers, traditional brokers. Then we're going to talk about how you can improve upon them all. And basically, we're going to come to a conclusion together. What's the best way to sell your home for you? Different houses and different people, different time frames, potentially different results. But then I'm going to tie it all together and show you how I think you can do better with just about everyone. And then in the end, I'll sort of pitch you on my referral service with your permission. But that's the end of this. So we're gonna have a little warm-up section explaining what we're considering and why. Then we're gonna go right into the different brokerage models. All right, so I have made little notes on this with oh, I didn't even need to do that. I should have started here. Okay, so with lower thirds, which is on my ManyCam software, that's what they call it. So let me just turn them on. Now these are going to have typos. I just typed them in quickly and I can't see them as I'm typing. So this is the best way to sell your home. That's the title of it. Now, who am I? My name is John McConnin. I'm a real estate broker and an attorney, and I feel very qualified to speak about this subject because, one, I've referred properties out all over. I've helped people using just about all these methods. I've worked with buyers trying to buy from these companies, and the California, and probably most importantly, the California Association of Realtors has selected me to train realtors on multiple offer negotiations. And in the end, that's what almost all these methods boil down to. They tell people to sit there, whether it's a realtor or Redfin or any of these other companies, they're likely to say you need to price your home at the market so you can get multiple offers, and then they can negotiate them higher. So in the end, to me, it's about your representation and your multiple offer negotiation and using that to leverage the very best model that will make you the most, either sell your home for the most or sell your home for the least costs, or ideally both. And how we evaluate that is leveraging the best ideas to sell your home for the highest dollar with the least amount of costs. And that's what we're going to cover by the end of it. So the first step in any of this, I think, is you should evaluate your home. You might as well do it, especially if you're in California, using the disclosure forms, which you can get for free at winnerscheck.org in my disclosure workshop. And go through room to room, figure out what the material facts are, write them down, put them in your disclosures. And in that course and in other videos, I talk about how you should respond and answer your disclosures. But the point is, use the checklist, go through your house. Then, with what you have in front of you, think about your house versus the other houses that have been sold, the other houses that are selling, and just the other houses in your neighborhood. Are the houses in your neighborhood 40 years old? And if you've done a lot of repairs, is your house in better shape than they are? Well, then you're going to give yourself a bonus and say, my house is probably worth more than the average house that's selling. For instance, where I live, there is and the houses are about 40 years old. And if you go through and you click on them and you see the comps, you'll see the older houses, the houses that haven't been fixed up, sell for approximately the same amount square foot. And that square foot price goes down a little bit as the houses get bigger because some of the value's in the land. But then you'll also notice, my phone's beeping in the other room. You'll also notice that for the homes that are repaired, they were getting $40 or $50 more a square foot because they've been fixed up, whether they're being flipped out by investors or people have just improved their homes themselves and they look nice and they have, for some reason they have a premium. It could be because they have better views, or it could be because they've been fixed up, they have new appliances. But there's a clear dichotomy, and there's enough sales in my neighborhood to determine that. That's something that you need to think about. I would not hesitate to go to all the websites, them, the Zillows, the Realtor.coms, the Redfins, get their prices, see what they're doing. In my courses, I also give you an opportunity to, I'm sorry, that phone's really disturbing me. This is ridiculous. I'm going to go get it and turn it off. I am sorry. I'm going to keep talking if you can hear me. That is such a faux pas. I apologize. So now, the other thing is you can then go to expert home prices, or no, actually go to my course at winnerscheck.org, and I'll put the very best Algo, I know it's by CoreLogic. It takes MLS data and tax data and does an algo, and you can see it. You can see what they're pricing the homes around you. Then you'll have a better idea. So that's one idea. So we're at disclosures. Then that's pricing. That's sort of getting you to the fair market value. Now, if I'm selling my home, there's 3 prices I want to know. I want to know that fair market value, the price why my house is superior, the market context to see if the market's going up, if there's a lot of demand. I want to know sort of what the max dollar I could get is. That's usually going to be capped by the competition. At some point, you go up enough, there's better homes. And if you're not objective about your home, you may want to speak to realtors about that. So I would ask for fair market value, what's the most I can sell and why, and what my starting price should be as well. Now, I believe, and we'll talk about this a little later, and I've done it in a lot of other videos, I believe you should go, instead of using a listing price, you should use a starting offer price. And that way you can go under, you can say we're under Zillow World because this is where we're starting, and the strongest offer is going to have an opportunity. The strongest offer in this auction we're going to have on Sunday night after we've had our home on the market for 7 to 10 days and we've accepted offers, but we're not looking at them until Sunday night. We're going to have a round robin bidding. The strongest offer is going to have the right to negotiate in a non-binding way with us on Sunday evening or Monday morning. And then if we agree on the terms, we'll go to contract. So we're going to cover that more later. But now the next stage is, now that you know the prices and you might know where the top is, you're going to be able to determine 2 things. One, I'd always stage and declutter a little bit, make the home look nicer. But it doesn't make sense. If you've got to put in $7,000 to $10,000 for painting and carpets, is it going to bring you $7,000 to $10,000 more? Will putting in a new backyard and fixing the pool and redoing your whole house, let's say that's $100,000, could it take in $300,000 to $400,000 more? I mean, those are things you want to evaluate, and if you want to spend the time doing it. So the simple things are, paint and carpets. And for me, at some point, like if there's competition, stronger houses, better frames than my house. We've spent $65,000 fixing up the pool. We have a great backyard, but the rest of our house, it could be improved. I don't really think my house is good enough to reach up into that next category of larger houses that we'd be competing with. So I know, because I've already put a lot of money into the pool, I'm going to get the top of my range. I might not even do paint and carpets. Now, I will if I ever sell my house, but it might not be necessary. But, I'd probably I negotiate with the paint guys. It costs a few $1,000s. Maybe I just clean the carpets. But the point is, I'd make my house look presentable. I'd work on the outside of it so it looks great, so people walk in and think it's great. But I think there's a cap on how much extra I could sell my home for. So I wouldn't be interested in making a lot of improvements in my home. So you need to evaluate, would making the improvements worth the time and the effort for you in terms of likely getting you a much stronger result? Now, that brings us to the next question. How do we get the highest net? And now we're going to evaluate the models, and then we're going to tie it all together. So the first model, so we thought about selling our home. We have an idea where we want to sell it for, what fair market value is. We have an idea what the max is, and we're going to talk about more about what the starting offers is in the model. But let's take first a look at Zillow. Zillow, as far as I know right now, in some areas is offering 3 different things. You can have a buy it quick price with Zillow. You can sell it on your own with Zillow, which I think is awesome. And you may or may not need to do that. I said in an earlier video that if you're working with a realtor and they put it on the MLS, it goes to Zillow. That's not necessarily the case. Zillow does not have all the listings. For instance, in San Diego, I've opted into Zillow because Zillow gets a lot of traffic. That's like 25 or 30% of the buyer traffic. And I don't want to explain to my sellers why their home's not on Zillow. So it's just easier. If my sellers are opting to go in the MLS and I agree to put it on there, it's going to go to Zillow. That might not happen necessarily in your area, but unless you have a good reason not to, I would put your home up on Zillow, either as a for sale by owner or through my realtor. But I make sure it was on Zillow because there's plenty of traffic. Now, well, we'll talk about Zillow in more in-depth in other videos. So that's the for sale by owner. And then the third way is Zillow will sell your leads to real estate agents, and real estate agents will contact you about selling your home. Now, traditional real estate agents will normally sell your home for 5 or 6%, depending on where you live. Sometimes it's 7%, but usually, let's call it 6, but the logic works. So normally you'd see 3% to the listing agent, and then they're going to compensate whoever brings the buyer another 3%. Listing agents hope to also bring in the buyer in most states and most jurisdictions. So your listing agent's hoping to make 6%, especially because they know now that Zillow, that the MLS pushes your house all over the internet, and then they're going to go out and put probably, if they're ambitious, put your home on Craigslist, put your home on Facebook, which could be $7 to $10 a day, marketing your home directly. I hope they're doing that because that's one of the strongest ways to find strong buyers. They're going to do some local marketing. Hopefully you can put a sign in your front yard, but maybe you can if it's a condo or homeowners associations. And then they're going to, hopefully, if they can, do open houses. I know most realtors say open houses don't sell properties, but if they feel that way, they need to do better open houses. Because, I'll tell you, we'll get more into it later, but the point is that you're saying we have a 7 to 10 day showing period and offer acceptance period. After the weekend, we're going to be looking at all the offers. People need to come see your home if they're going to make an offer. So you're going to do that on the weekend, and and that way all the buyers are going to see the competition. You're going to ask if they want to make an offer. It's the way to sell a home. Even if they're going full traditional and they're not even interested in doing that, they should be hoping to have a really big open weekend with signs all over the place coming off the roads. They should spend extra money on like the custom signs, not necessarily the realtor signs. So you might have to give them a week or two to get this ready. But they should be doing a big open house. One, they're going to get, if they can, they're going to get buyers out of it. And it could lead to selling your home. Now, there are exceptions. If your home's just trash and you're going to need to sell to an investor anyway, well, then the open house might not be such a great idea, but then you don't need to pay full service for your real estate agent either. So now, if you go to Zillow and say, sell my home, they're going to introduce you to a realtor. A realtor is going to talk about selling your home and how great they are at marketing, and they may charge you 5 or 6%. To do good marketing, they should be doing local marketing, Facebook, YouTube, maybe Google, and local marketing. Now, how many points their plan they turn that into, that's great. But they should be spending money on your home in addition to whatever their normal marketing is, and they should be responsible to show you. So that's Zillow. And let's talk about Redfin next. Now, let me see if I can pull up Redfin over here. I'm going to share my screen with you. So you're seeing it now. And let's go, here's pay as low as 1% listing fee. So again, let's break this down. Redfin asks you to compensate the buyer's agent in the traditional manner that, let me take this thirds down. Oh, I've had that up for a while. Okay. So they ask you to pay the buyer's agents the traditional fee. Because one, I think they're hoping to double-side it. And two, with normal marketing models, you do want to put a house on the MLS. I mean, you can do better, but you want to put it on the MLS so you get that exposure to all the websites online and buyer's agents. So they're saying they'll list it for 1% if you also buy a home with them in some areas. But otherwise, their listing side fee is 1.5%, and then it's full commission in your area to the buyer's agent. So that probably nets out to 4.5%. Now, in a seller's market, that model doesn't really make a ton of sense to me unless you are a luxury seller, in which case I doubt you're going to randomly work with any particular agent that Redfin introduces you to. Or you need buyer's agents to talk people into how great your home is because, one, you're asking for a lot more money than normal, and two, there's something very difficult to price about your home. It could be a tremendous view. It could be over-improved for the neighborhood. There's some reason that you're saying we are going outside all comps and all logic and asking a lot of money. And people get here, they're going to understand why, and they're going to need to be held in the transaction and talked into by their buyer's agent. If that's your home, take your listing agent and say, look, we've got to talk buyer's agents into really pushing this home and keeping once their buyers get buyer's remorse and it doesn't appraise with the lender or even their own evaluation, keeping them in there, talking them into staying in the transaction. So we need to overcompensate buyer's agents. So if we normally pay them 3, let's pay them 4. And then you can talk to your listing agent about how much they should pay. So that is how I would sell 1%, maybe 2% of the homes that could possibly sell. We'd overpay the buyer's agents so they could talk their buyers, their qualified buyers, their reload buyers, their high-end buyers into buying your home and give them the reasons. And we'd have to educate them at the MLS meetings. We'd have to talk to them. We'd have to explain everything to them. We'd spend some time on the phone. And hopefully their buyer's agents will keep their buyers in line. I've had this experience. I've worked with people who've over-improved the home renovators, who over-improved their properties for the neighborhood. It works great when you're overcompensating buyer's agents and they're smart, so their people are listening to them. But if you're not in that circumstance, why are you paying, if you're trying to save money on your real estate commissions, and I advocate for you doing that, why would you go right in and pay? This is really, in my view, this is a trick to get you to list with them so they can also double side and get your buyers, because they're going to tell you list at the market or below. They're going to have, if they're smart, they're going to accept offers over 7 or 10 days, giving buyers plenty of time to contact them, find out about it, and not just sell to those smart buyers that do it the first few days. If they're smart, they're hoping to double side your transaction and make the 4.5% themselves. If you're going to be working with this group or any of the other people that we're talking about today, I want you to ask them, where are we going to list the price? Where are we expecting to sell? And what's the most I can expect and why? And when those numbers come in, you say, now, is it your marketing that's going to get to those buyers? Is it the price or is it the buyer's agents? And they're going to give you some wishy-washy answer. You say, okay, well, if we list it at this price, are we going to be able to sell it all day long? Are we going to get multiple offers the first day? Will some of them contact you directly? Will some be from buyers? Why are we even paying the buyer's agent? What do you want from me to sell this house with you now? Let's try it for a week or two. And if it doesn't work, then we'll talk about going on the MLS, right? So if they can't come back and say, look, we don't really know what your price is. We need smart buyer's agents to hold the buyers in there. Okay, now we're in a different model. We're in what, let's just call that the luxury model. Then this isn't going to really work this way. If you want to work with me, we would go to the local areas. We'll find the best agents who've sold homes in your $2, $3, $4, $5 million price range, or who've sold homes that are hard to value, and we're going to work with them, and we're going to even try to work with them on costs. But we're not going to take random agents that are referred to us off the internet. We're going to get specialists in your kind of property. But in this case, if there's competition, if you're trying to save money, I'd say skip the buyer's fees for a while, right? I don't understand this model in a seller's market. People who ask the right questions are going to come to that same conclusion with whomever it is. Okay? If we're trying to save money on real estate commissions and you're a discounter and you're trying to induce me with that, well then let's make it make sense. Let's sell my home without paying the buyer's agents and see how much my net is. And if we think we can do better because we've priced it well, then we'll go up on the MLS and we'll keep your fee where it is, but we'll compensate the buyer's agents more. That's like sequencing your strategy. It's a 2-step process. It makes way more sense to me. Now, let's go to, I'm saving Rex for later because Rex plays into this, right? So Homebay, they talk about, let's pick a number that's probably more realistic for California. This would be, I don't know, the average price in California, it varies, but I think it's about $650,000. So let's just call it 7 Oaks. Let's try to get in there around at, let's see if I can get to 7. Okay, close enough. Close enough. So, Homebay is saying that you pay them a fee to get started, and then they're going to supplement that fee when it sells, bringing it up to $4,000. So, again, it's a big discount on the listing, but if you went, I believe I read on their website that they highly recommend, it might have been in the FAQ if I read this. I've done this in other videos, so you'll see it. If if you cared to look for my other videos, you'd see. Do I have to offer commissions to the buyer's agent? With most real estate transactions, here, read it along with me. There are two agents, one representing the seller and one representing the buyer. Traditionally, the seller, that'd be you, pays both, meaning you're paying 3% to the selling agent and 3% to the buyer's agent for bringing the buyer to your home. We strongly recommend you offer the buyer's agents a commission, as it will help you sell your home or help sell your home. Homebay has found that we can expect 4 times as many offers when working with buyer's agents and their clients. More offers leads to higher selling prices and more money in your pocket, even after paying the buyer commission. So they have more about buyer's agents' commissions. When you pay whatever you and your agent agree to, but don't expect too much of a discount off the standard rates. Keep reading. With Homebay's flat fee, so they're talking about, and they're right. Most listing agents don't normally discount their listing fees if they're doing business in your area, because then they have to discount them for other people. Which is why I've set up my program that you go find at winnerscheck.org. It's why I refer you to listing agents. We can get 1/3 of the listing agent commission. I've never been, well, let's say it's 30%. Every time I've asked for a 30% referral fee, I've gotten it from agents all over the country. So that's no problem. Frequently, you can get to 50%. Occasionally, you could get to more. So we can turn even the best agents in your area into these models or close to it through the referral fee. And then I'll share, because you're watching this now, I will share that referral fee with you, and you can find out more about that program at winnerscheck.org. Now back to the, that was my little commercial. Now back to what they're saying. Who pays for what? If both buyer and seller use an agent, the seller pays a commission for both listing agent and buyer's agent. And noted, 2.5% for a total of 5%. Exactly what we were saying. Almost everything's negotiable. Do you have to use an agent? No. Okay, so they're not really, there's nothing really new on that. Other than saying Homebay gets your house on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor.com, MLS, and other major sites searched by buyers. Any real estate agent can do that as well. That's no big deal. So again, and this is actually, their price is pretty good. I mean, if you knew you were getting a great agent with experience who's very good at negotiating multiple offers, that's the issue. That's the gravamen. That's the crux. That's the whole point when working with your listing agent. You need a listing agent that communicates well. I don't even think you want to be on a team. You can be on a team, but the person dealing with the buyers directly and the person dealing with the buyer's agents has to be a great representative for you, especially during the multiple offer negotiation. They must convey integrity about themselves in the process. They must be able to communicate to the agents and the buyers that we are accepting offers. You're going to be treated well. This is the process. When there's a really great offer, they've got to be comfortable saying, you've got a strong offer, we've got other offers, we're going to give those other offers a chance to compete. But when we get their offers, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go with them automatically or make you beat them, because we really appreciate the strength of your offer and you're giving my client flexibility to buy another home or whatever it is. But they need to convey confidence and integrity if you want to get multiple offers to go significantly above your listing price, because most of the time they're within a few $1,000s, and after that people walk away. I know I used to get calls all the time from people trying to get out of their listing contracts after agents blew the multiple offer negotiations, frequently negotiating with all of them at once and going highest and best. Brutal way to do things, even if it's a second round. Brutal way to do things in most circumstances. It's much better to round robin, draw the weakest ones up. They understand it's fair. They walked away because they didn't beat, and you let the weak ones fight it out among themselves to see if they become a strong one, because sometimes strong ones are hiding, and they want the house, but they believe they can negotiate well, or their agents should be able to do it. But then when it's on the line, this happens so many times. When it's really on the line, and they realize there's other people looking to buy the home, all of a sudden they get strong real fast. So that's what we're hoping with the weak ones. In the meantime, we're keeping a strong one on the side. Okay, so let's get back to No, so that was Homebay. Cost you some money to get started. I think they say $400 or $500, or at least that's what I read the last time. And well, if you're interested in them, that's great. But again, I think you can do better. My point would be, if you're going to go discount and your house and you can figure out what your max values are in your house. Frequently, the idea is start out saving on the buyer's commissions. We're going to sequence this situation. Start out saving the buyer's commission with a pre-MLS situation, or if you're on the MLS, you can do that, but then only we'll talk about how you can make the buyer's agents earn their compensation to an auction model. And then switch over to a regular method. But don't start out skimping on the listing fee just so they can double side the commission. Now, okay, so we talked about Zillow, Redfin, Homebay. Now there's new, including myself, people popping up all the time with different models. They all need to be analyzed from the point of listing commission, buyer's agent commission. Are they doing all the work for you? And if they're not, is it worth it to you? Are you saving enough money that you're willing to do some of the work? So let's go to Rex. I think Rex has a cool model. They hype it. Their marketing's good. I think they used to do it for like a Homebay fee, but now they're up at 2%. But they don't go on the MLS. They don't offer money to the buyer's agents. They do the marketing with what they say their own big data. Now, the best big data I know is going to YouTube and Facebook, and Facebook calls it audiences. YouTube calls it in market, and you can also target other things. But if you are, okay, so your home's in your area, you put an ad on there, opportunity to buy this home, big open house weekend, or we're selling to the strongest bidder this weekend. We'll be accepting offers all week. Come look at the home, see if you want to make an offer. This house is currently starting offers start below, and if you're on Zillow, the Zillow price. If you're on Facebook, starting offers below Zillow, Realtor.com, wherever, starting offers starting $40,000 below fair market value. Because we're starting with offers, we don't want to lock people into a listing price. Now, if you'd like more information, come here and you say, look, we are offering a homeowner's warranty. Here are our disclosures. We've gone through all our disclosures. This is what we know is wrong with the home. Here we have an inspector, and here's the inspection report so you can see for yourself. This weekend from 10 to 5 on Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sunday, come look at our home. If you're interested, you can just leave a bid. By the way, here's a sample offer, but you don't even need to make an offer. Just leave your contact information. We'll talk to you Sunday evening. And if you're the strongest offer, you'll have a right to negotiate with us and see if we can come to terms on a contract like this afterwards. So it's a non-binding auction. It's an awesome way to do things. You're using the big data of Facebook. Facebook's data is amazing. YouTube is as well. I mean, like for instance, I have pixels on my websites, Facebook and YouTube. So when I'm doing marketing, if people come to my website, YouTube knows it, Facebook knows it. Now it's even more than that now. If you put an offer on the net and someone looks at it, clicks on it, sees your video, they're captured. That person's captured. They know who are looking for homes right now in your area. If you go on YouTube, you'll see there's dozens of people, probably thousands of people, talking about how realtors can use a home as a lead magnet. You can do it easily. That is what Rex does, right? They use your home as a lead magnet, and they're saying for 2%, they'll sell your home and they'll do the work for you. So again, it's awesome. I think Rex actually says you should market your home. Let's see if selling with Rex. Let's see. I think they say that they recommend pricing. Okay, you don't need a PhD to understand Rex charges lower fees. Here's what it boils down to. Traditional agents charge 5 to 6%. Discount brokers like Redfin say they charge 1% listing fee, but read the fine print. It's more like 4% or 4.5% in my opinion, since sellers also pay their traditional buyer's agent commission of 3%. So Rex doesn't even realize that in order to get the 1% listing fee, you have to also buy a home with them. At least the last time I read it. But that's cool. I'm not saying they have to be an expert on Redfin's model. Rex charges 2% total. So it was Homebay that says you should have your home price 3% under the market to get the most offers. That's what their data says. So they put your home on social networks, like I said, search engines, done, pay-per-click. Real estate websites, yes. You can syndicate, and 3 billion users. Well, I'll tell you what. I should have put this offer up front. I will charge less than Rex, and I'll put your home on the MLS, and we'll offer $10 because when it all comes down to it, in the end, I'm going to offer you a choice when we go up on the MLS. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this today because it's I don't want to confuse people, right? But if you're in San Diego, I'll put your home on the MLS and I'll beat Rex. If you're not in San Diego, or you just want to be referred out to a local agent anywhere in San Diego, anywhere in Orange County, anywhere else, I will help you find whether it's a friend or a relative or an agent in your area you already know or a neighbor. I will refer your sale to them. We will together, you might want to do it, but we'll ask them for your listing price, your fair market value price, and what's the max you could get and why. We want that explained every time. We'll ask them about their social marketing and their marketing strategies, and we'll ask them about their multiple offer negotiation strategies. And, if we're working together, we'll supplement them with mine, and we'll come out with the best thing for you. And then we'll say, look, and we're seeking a referral fee on this, and I'll share the referral fee with you. So we will help you find the best agent, or we can use one you already want to work with. You'll have a consultant on your team if you're outside of California. If you're selling your home outside of California or buying, I can do this for buyers too. I will be there sometimes 10-20% of the time. There's going to be hiccups in the process. So if you need help making a buyer perform or getting escrow or title to do something because they're slowing down, or the thing that comes up most often is the buyers lenders are causing problems and not looking like they're going to close on time, and I can help that process along with letters or emails or calls. I will do that. I will also, I will not only include my disclosure work. Okay, so one of the things we suggested earlier today was you do your disclosures first. I have a disclosure workshop that you can quickly go through. If you have any questions about it, you can download the forms, you can prepare them, and I'll go over your disclosures with you personally. I will spend time with you on the phone. Now, that was a rough transition. I'm talking about what I can do for you. I hope you don't mind. So we will refer your property and share the referral fee. We will do your disclosures with him. You'll have a consultant or an attorney on your team if you're in California. And we'll also help your realtor net you the most money with the least amount of costs. That's it. There's other things I'll offer over time. We can talk on the phone. So really go to winnerscheck.org. You can set up a free strategy session consultation with me. There will be a set of questions that will let me know ahead of time if I think we'll be able to work together. And if not, I'll give you a call. Either way, you're going to set up a time. But if I, after seeing your questions, don't think we're going to be a good fit, I'm not going to waste your time waiting. I'll call you up right away and say, I'll give you the weaknesses of the approach that either you're seeking or how my program wouldn't fit it. And, I'll be happy to answer questions too. And I'll do your disclosures with you. So I'm not going to just blow you out. If you've been working on your disclosures, I'll be happy to talk to you further. But, if you don't qualify, I'll let you know up front as soon as I read your responses. Now, again, after we work on the phone together, you may still decide to part ways, and that will be fine. And I might find that I don't have a program that meets your goals, that maybe you'd be better off trying to sell on your own and taking a look at the materials of my courses. That's a possibility. Or maybe I'd say, look, your home is going to require a specialist, and you're probably going to have to pay full service for that specialist, and maybe I can get a referral fee, and if that doesn't work for you, then it won't work for you. But, we'll have a nice consult, and we'll set it up. Now, So go to winnerscheck.org. You can set up the consultation page right there. Eventually, I'm going to have a link where I'll just do a little bit. I might have a video. I don't know. I want to shorten this for people, but you will have seen the meat and potatoes of it all. I'll just make a shorter one on the homepage. So John McConnin, winnerscheck.org. As I just said, so this was the point. If you're a FSBO, you can get some information at the website, but that's the point. Go to winnerscheck.org, and I'll be happy to set this up, give you a strategy session, help set you up for really having your best chance of earning top net, and we'll refer your home anywhere in the country. I've done this many, many, many times. I've done it for family members. Surprisingly good results. There's a lot of competent realtors out there. When we ask them to customize their program for what you like, it's like beautiful synergy together. At the very least, I'm helping you get what you want, and most good agents want to do that for you. So it's just it's a great opportunity, because I have the time right now. Eventually, I want this to get so big, you're gonna have to work with other people. Right now, I will personally work with you. Thanks, John McConnin, winnerscheck.org.